there, how's it going? My name is Terry Santra and I'm the head moose at Purple Moose Designs. And I wear a lot of hats in the quilting industry, but one of my favorite hats is retreat organizer. So I get asked a lot about how do I organize retreats? How do I do this? How do I do that part? So I ended up writing a book. It's called Retreats for Fun or Profit. So if you've ever thought about hosting a retreat or you hosted one and it didn't go so well, it doesn't matter whether it's just for your guild mates or your friends or whether you want to incorporate it into your business and actually make a profit at it, we've covered all of that. So the book now is at the publishers and I'm waiting for it to come back. So I thought I'd do just a little quickie video and tell you about some of the different chapters in the book and what they're all about. So the first one is important decisions. So this chapter covers all the different things you need to think about. You spend a lot of time in this chapter because you're going to think about everything you need to make your retreat a success. And if you make all those decisions initially, then a lot of the other later decisions you have to make will just fall into line and be much easier. So we cover a lot of ground in this one. And not only about the retreat you want to do now, but ones for the future and lots of different things to think about. So we give you a lot of brain food to go here. The next chapter is location. I cover how to scout out locations, what you want to look for, what makes a good location, what doesn't make a good location, and how do you look where you can go in person, and how do you look where you can't go in person. Say you want to have a retreat that's halfway across the country or halfway around the world. How do you scout out a location? We cover all of that stuff for you. The next chapter is Good Grub. There are two things that can make or break your retreat, and that is the location and the food. So we cover all the three different kinds of ways you can provide food, whether it's a DIY, your guests do some of the work, catering and takeout, or full service. And we cover the differences between all the three different ones, how you can blend different styles together, how to take care of everyone's food issues, and all kinds of other stuff. Then we have communication. Very important chapter. This is to how to communicate with three different people: your guest, the venue, and yourself. And we cover all of those things very detailed. With your guests, there's all kinds of information you need to relay to them and get from them that you then in turn need to turn over to your venue. And there's all kinds of communications with yourself, keeping yourself on track so you don't forget anything or forget anyone and all of that. So we cover all that stuff. Next up is the bottom line. Very important chapter as well. This one covers how to set your prices, how to figure out what your budget is, all the different things you need to consider before you can even tell someone this is how much it's going to cost, because you need to figure all that out ahead of time, which goes back to some of those important decisions that we made in the first chapter. So once you get all of that done, you have your location, you have your prices set, you have everything all set to go. All you need is people. So then we have finding your guests. So this is all about marketing. Now my most popular retreats sell out about a year ahead of time. So I guess I kind of figured out how to do something right in this area. So this chapter is all about the different ways that you can find guests, people to come to your retreat. Now this of course applies to anyone that is having strangers. Obviously if you're putting together a retreat for your guildmates or your friends, this one doesn't apply to you so much. But the next chapter is business stuff. Very highly technical name for a very important chapter. This one will cover income taxes, sales taxes, insurance, liabilities for other things like alcohol and stuff like that. So all kinds of different business aspects. Now, if you're doing a retreat for fun, some of them may apply to you, most of them probably not. They're probably for people that are doing it for profit. And then the most special, favorite one, fun and games. I'm all about having a great time. I kind of think of my job at a retreat as kind of like Julie on the Love Boat. I need to make sure everybody's having a good time, that their needs are all met, that they have everything they want. And fun and games is a great way to get people together and working with each other. And especially if you have strangers, if not everyone knows each other. Games are a great way to get some camaraderie going, and it's a lot of fun. So we cover different games, how to play them, and how to get your guests involved in the games, all that stuff. The next chapter is that special touch. There are little things that you can do that don't cost a lot of money, don't take a lot of time, but they really up the level of your retreat just to the next notch or two. And so we'll go over some of those, what those things are. And of course, with current situations such as they are, we also have virtual retreats. Becoming more and more popular, virtual retreats, either by necessity or design. So there are some similarities between in-person and virtual retreats, but there are some differences too. So we cover what those are. And then last but certainly not least is at the end of the book, I have several pages of examples of registration forms and spreadsheets that I use for myself that I communicate with the inn and keep myself on track of who's paid, how much they paid, room requirements, all that kind of stuff. Checklists that I give to my customers, checklists that I keep for myself, packing lists that I keep for myself so I don't get to the retreat and have forgotten something important, and all kinds of other great tools to help you succeed in having a retreat of your own. So I hope that I've given you a little teaser into what will be in the book. If you're interested in buying it, as soon as it's ready and back from the publisher, it will be available either on my website, purplemoosedesigns.com, or on Amazon. So give it a whirl and see how you like it. If you want to leave a comment, feel free to do that. Or if you have any questions, you can leave those here too. Or you can email me if you're more comfortable with that. Thanks. See you later. And thanks for stopping by. Happy retreating.